Hello again, friends. So last week, we started reading this story, Inquiry Inc. and the Case of the Missing Ducklings. We met a girl named Anna. Remember her? And she was on her way home when she found a storm drain with some little ducklings stuck inside of it. Pretty big problem, especially for the ducklings. Anna wanted to help and wasn't sure what to do, but then she ran into the kids of Inquiry Inc. They're a group who likes to solve problems. And they were thinking about how to solve this problem of getting the ducklings out of that storm drain, and you helped out with that big time. So here's some of the ideas I heard from all of you. They were some really, really great ideas and some that I had never heard or thought of before. So one idea that people had was to use a net, but the kind of net with like a flexible ring around it so it can kind of squish in between the holes in the storm drain, reach down to get the ducklings and scoop them out. Some people thought of the idea of attaching a rope to the net in case the handle wasn't long enough, excuse me, and lowering the net on the rope in to scoop out the ducklings. One or two people suggested like kind of getting some strips of wood down in there and I think kind of stacking them up so the ducklings could hop out. One idea that I heard that I'd never heard before was to actually use the umbrella, which I forgot that Anna even had. Use her umbrella, close the umbrella, stick it down into one of the storm drain holes, open the umbrella up so the ducks can jump in, and then close it just partway to bring the ducks back up in it. That's pretty cool. And then another one that I hadn't really thought of before was why don't we just actually let the ducklings swim or float into the underground pipes going out from the storm drain and down to one of the other kinds of storm drains that are easier to get into. Let's see. Oh, yep. And then somebody also said, well, you could unscrew, you could get a screwdriver and unscrew the screws holding the storm drain in place, take it off, and then it would be a lot easier to get the ducklings out. I hope I covered all of the ideas I heard. If I didn't, check out our class blog on Seasocks. I'm pretty sure that I hope all of them are up there. If you're looking for yours and you can't find it, please let me know. And I'll find it and put it on the blog for you. Okay, so today we are going to continue reading Inquiry Inc. and the Case of the Missing Ducklings. We are going to continue from where we left off. And we're going to find out a little bit about how Anna and Inquiry Inc. decide to rescue the ducklings and another problem that comes up for them. Okay, let's get started.
Quack, flap, quack, flap. The mother duck is still flapping her wings by the drain. I hope we can save the 5 ducklings, Anna exclaims. Wait, how many ducklings are down there? Carlos says, peering into the drain. 1, 2, 3. I see only 3 ducklings. Hold on, Anna frowns. Are you sure? I definitely saw 5 earlier. Yep, Lee says, leaning down to look. 1, 2, 3. 3 ducklings. Uh-oh. Then where did the other 2 ducklings go? Carlos wonders. I don't know, Lee says. I think we're going to have to investigate. That's another way to say looking for clues. Everyone pauses and thinks about what to do next. I wonder how deep the drain is, says Carlos. I've got it. Sylvia takes the measuring tape from her tool belt. She lowers it down the hole until it touches the water at the bottom. Look, she says, pulling it out and showing it to the others. This is how far down the ducklings are. So how can we get the ducklings out when they're so far away? Carlos asks. Even my dad wouldn't be able to reach the ducklings, and he's really tall. Lee puts on their brainstorming face. We could use our tadpole nets, they yell. Good idea, Sylvia exclaims. They lower the net through one of the holes into the grate. 1, 2, 3. They scoop the ducklings up and into their hands. Quack, flap! The mama duck quacks happily. The 3 little ducklings squeak like they've never squeaked before and stay close by her side. Inquiry Inc. cheers. Got a problem that won't go away? Inquiry Inc. will save the day. But wait, 2 ducklings are still missing, says Carlos, keeping the group on track. Now we have an even bigger problem, Anna says. We have to figure out where the other 2 ducklings went. We can solve this. Remember, Inquiry Inc. is able to solve problems in a very special way. Muy especial, says Sylvia. Anna knows from the Spanish book she reads that this means very special. Carlos pulls out a piece of paper from his notebook with a list of steps written down. Step 1, identify the problem. Step 2, come up with questions. Step 3, brainstorm some ideas. Step 4, test your ideas. We know the problem is that 2 ducklings are missing, so now let's come up with some questions, says Lee. Where did the 2 other ducklings go? How did they get down there in the first place? Anna wonders. Are they hungry? Giggles Carlos, because I'm pretty hungry. Are the ducklings scared? Are they wet? Are they lost? Can they hear their mother? I have another question, Anna says. What happens to the drain when it rains? Where does the water go? So first graders, you can start thinking about that too. And stay tuned because I'm about to give you your next assignment. I would like you to find a nice big piece of paper like this one. Draw a straight line across the top to represent the ground, like the sidewalk or street. Then I'd like you to put a picture of a storm drain also at the top, right on that line. It should look something like this. You can draw a storm drain if you'd like, or if you have a printer, you can print a picture of a storm drain out, and I've actually sent one in an email to your parents, so you can ask them for a picture of a storm drain if you'd like. But drawing a picture is fine too. Okay, so I want you to set up your paper just like this. Then I'd like you to think about what happens to the drain when it rains. Where does the water go? And I would like you to make a picture of where you think that water goes after it rains, and also where you think those 2 other little ducklings might have gone. So here's an example of one of these pictures that some first graders from last year made. You can take a look at it if you want, so you can have kind of an idea of what the finished assignment looks like. But I want you to think for yourself really about where those little ducklings might have gone. Where does the water go? And again, you can share this with me like always on Seesaw or via email. And I can't wait to see what you're thinking. Bye-bye. Have fun.